And we're live.
We are indeed live. And welcome to a very special edition of a Shin Show. You know what makes it so special?
Why?
The fact that I didn't know it was going to happen at all. Tell you the God's honest truth. Just didn't know.
How so?
Well, I don't know. It was a few minutes late. Didn't know if it was happening. Just seemed like...
But we all confirmed
Yeah. Well,
yesterday.
Yeah.
Nick confirmed.
He speaks
didn't-
for both of us in
Yeah.
this manner.
Still one of us confirmed.
That's true. That's enough. If one confirms, all confirm. That's what I say. So, in
Look,
any
if one
event-
confirms and one
No.
doesn't counter confirm, then
Right.
Then it's confirmed.
then it's confirmed.
Without any counter confirming, it's just regular confirming.
Well, yeah, but if you don't counter confirm, then I can only assume that the one person who confirmed is indeed the person who confirmed.
Hmm.
No.
No? Okay. Well,
That's not how it works here.
it shows you what I know, which is, as usual, not very much of anything. Well, again, welcome to a very special Shin Show. I'm your host, Pete Shin. Joining me, as always, beloved spouse Elsie from an undisclosed location in a sound booth on the east coast of the United States. And then joining me from the... Oh, hello, Elsie.
Hello, I have an immediate question.
Yes.
If every episode of a Shin Show is a special episode, are any of them special?
Well, that depends on your point of view, I suppose. But not all episodes are special.
But every episode, you say a very special episode.
Do I really?
Yes, you do. So I'm wondering
It's
if
pretty
special is
common.
now
They
in
have
air
varying
quotes.
degrees of very special.
That's
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
Well, these
How
very
much emphasis
special-
is he actually putting into the
This-
special?
Yeah, the special gets diluted throughout the episode to a certain degree, but it's just it's an uncalculable degree.
of
So
specialness.
yeah, so they're all special in their own way.
It could be very special. It could be very, very special. Or it could be a very, very, very special.
Yeah, or it could be garbage on fire,
Right.
Could be
Which, is our standard.
which
Yeah.
spreads to like a national park or something and just completely destroys it and
yeah,
eliminates
Or Australia.
wildlife.
right.
Right.
For
That
example,
jumps the fire, jumps the ocean to Australia.
and then becomes super special. And then that jumps the ocean to New Zealand and threatens ZIFs. That's right, ZIFs. Fine dining and a relaxed continental atmosphere. Proud sponsors of a Shin Show for a billionth of a millennium.
Worked him in early this episode.
We do not want ZIFs to burn down, just as a disclaimer.
Just for the record.
No.
Where
was
else
kind
are
of
we going to
implied.
get kiwi juice?
Freshly slain kiwi juice.
Well, if it's all evaporated in a horrible fire, then,
Exactly. Nowhere.
Yeah.
But I did distract you before you even said who all was on here.
Well, that's right. A very special welcome to this very special edition. Also to beloved son Nicholas and beloved daughter Sarah, both podcasting from an undisclosed underground sub-basement bomb shelter bunker location somewhere in the Midwest of the United States.
A very special welcome to you.
Yeah, I bet people who listen to this are like, I wish I knew the names and general location of each of the voices on this podcast.
Yes,
And I
now
wish
they do.
I wish I would be reminded of that every single episode.
Even better, I wish they would fight about it every single episode.
No doubt.
Well, guess what? Those imagined listeners get their wish every week.
And that's what makes this episode so special.
That's special, especially special, indeed. Well, in any event, glad you're here. Let's start, as we often do, with some personal news. Got any personal news? News that's personal,
Fuck, dude.
that's new to you?
Well, I'm putting together a dressing room because Sandy moved out and we empty nested a little.
Yeah.
So we took her empty room and instead of making it something useful like a second guest bedroom, we're making it into a master closet.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. But it's involved lots of purchases. And today involved a 3-hour trip to Nebraska Furniture Mart,
Yes.
For what?
as one
exactly?
does.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is that we went for a day bed and a mirror.
Yeah.
And we left with we left with a settee and a vanity and a mirror and ottoman on back order and also a sound system for the living room.
This is sounding a little like a French boudoir.
Yeah.
A
Well,
little bit.
Could you get back? What exactly is a settee? That sounds suspiciously
We
like
just
a chair
had this
with-
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a chair without a back, basically, right?
Nah.
No, it
No.
has a back.
It
It's like a
does.
tiny. It's like a mini love seat.
Oh, I see.
It's like it's like a bench. It's like a padded bench, really, is what it is.
with a back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, benches have back. Well, not all.
But Nick and I
Yeah.
both thought it was like an ottoman.
Yeah,
it's not
and
an
then we determined that an ottoman is just an ambiguous piece of furniture. You know?
It's a catch-all term.
Yeah.
Actually, if you break it down, an Ottoman is a citizen of the former empire of the Ottomans that was disbanded.
so we're being
after
racist.
World War. No, not at
No,
all.
that's just factual. Hey, you know what? We should have like an entire episode where we just describe furniture.
And what we think
My guess
is or
that
isn't.
My guess is Sarah and I will know what everything is and spend the whole time explaining it to you two.
I don't
Radio.
know.
Well, I don't know, man, because I didn't know what a settee was until I read the tag of this little bench thing,
Right.
which
Instead of-
also is a
yes.
lot bigger in the room than it was in the warehouse.
Always the case. You got to measure. You know, you need one of those virtual apps. You know what I mean? Augmented reality, where you look through your phone and it shows where the furniture goes.
Exactly
shit like
where the
that.
thing is. I bet,
Yeah.
you know, why is an iPhone all over that?
iPhone is all over there.
Yeah, there are apps for that.
Oh, shit.
Or you could just just imagine there's a couch there, you know?
Yeah.
Just walk in and be like, that's a nice couch. And it's an empty room, and then you just walk out.
Isn't that kind of the
So-
approach you take in your apartment, Nick?
Yeah, yeah. I pretend to sit but really I'm just standing Blair Witch style in a corner. And I'm thinking, I say to the corner, like, wow, this is what a nice decorations I have.
Yeah. What a nice settee.
Yeah.
What a terrific ottoman.
What a nice life I'm living here.
Yeah. What a terrific
Wow.
Davenport. Yeah. Any of you know what a Davenport is?
I thought that was a town.
It is a town, but it also describes a couch. Couches used to be called Davenports.
Why?
I guess because a lot of them were made in Davenport, Iowa. That's my guess.
So it's like a
That's
Kleenex.
a bad guess, but all
Yeah.
right.
No, I mean, it's not a bad guess. I think it's a good
It's
guess.
just a guess. We don't know that it's bad yet.
All
Yeah.
couches were once sourced from Iowa.
Right, much like corn. But
Yeah.
instead, it was a couch. Anyway, yeah, the ironic part is that it was totally sourced, filled. The entire filling of the Davenport was filled with corn husks.
By
There
the
you
way,
have it.
Davenport was a specific style of sofa made by a specific furniture company called A.H. Davenport from Massachusetts.
All right, well,
Yeah.
whatever.
So Sarah was right. It was like a Kleenex.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But it had nothing to do with Davenport, Iowa.
No, that was just your projection.
I
It
bet there's
was.
more than one Davenport.
Yeah, there's apparently an A.H. Davenport in Massachusetts, but it was a company name. I wonder, though, how many Davenports could there possibly be? And
How
does
many
anybody-
shins are there?
We already determined this. 3,000.
More than you would think.
Yes, more than you would think.
There's
And
way more
also,
than
why does every
3,000.
city have a locust street?
Why does every city have a? I guess because locusts are a very common insect. Why
The
does every
locusts
city-
remember,
Yes,
and we must beware.
The bugs are in the mist.
there.
It's
I-
never too late for another plague.
It sure isn't. So, congratulations on getting your master.
Settee.
Yeah, and your master closet beginning to be thinking.
God,
about,
if I could just be done with it, like it is. If I could just please release me, please. So now we're in the process of going through our closet as we migrate from closet to master closet, and I just want to die. I wish the Lord would take me.
Master
Why?
closet.
Because you have so many clothes.
Well, it's a project. It's just a project, and I hate it, and I'll love it when it's done. But in the meantime, I'm throwing a tantrum.
Would you call it a project?
Did I?
No, I'm saying would you?
Oh, yeah, I
Have you-
would.
Have you considered selling all of your worldly belongings and following the universal energy?
No, you don't. You don't even know the name of the
Yeah,
church.
you're right,
dog.
I don't.
Yeah, you should. though.
Excommunicated.
Yeah,
I was never a member.
you were one of the.
You were
the
you were a
prophetess.
fucking archbishop or
I was
something.
assigned these roles against my consent. Anyway,
Yeah,
I
Now
think
you've been
you should just give
excommunicated.
up all your worldly possessions and follow whatever
the
fuck
Church
this
of
thing is.
Universal Energy and the Infinite Multiverse.
If I wanted to give up all of my worldly possessions, I'd have children.
Oh, good point.
Good
That's-
one.
That's fair. That's terrific. No, so the Church of Universal energy and the infinite multiverse is available to you at any point. You don't have to give up any possessions. In fact, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do at all. That's the beauty of the church.
You don't
But
even
you
have
don't
to
not have to do it either.
stuff.
In fact, you don't even have to know its name.
Well,
You kind of got to know its name.
yeah.
Elsie didn't need to.
You have to at least know the name.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like Elsie gets a pass on this one.
Yeah, I
She's
guess.
the only one. Like, I think that's written into the charter.
And it's one time.
I keep trying to get out. You guys keep sucking me back in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
I keep trying to get out.
There was an addendum in the contract that led to a footnote that led to a third addendum.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
In
Anyway,
which
The
there was a
writers
subclause.
sacking the writers doing the sacking have indeed been sacked.
Have
Yeah.
themselves been sacked.
Yes. All right. So, apologies to the Moose. And speaking of Moose, how's he doing?
He's an
Moose?
asshole. He's a fucking asshole. He continues to be an asshole.
He has been. He will continue to be. Has always been, and will never not be. Is
An
that fair?
asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. That about sums it up.
He's like a quantum existing. His assholery exists on a quantum level.
Right.
Well,
But-
apparently, when dogs eat chocolate, it gets them drunk. Is that
Yeah.
a thing? This
Yeah, it's
motherfucker has
my
been breaking into
understanding.
the liquor cabinet pretty much every fucking time that we leave the house.
Yeah.
And like, I could move the chocolates. I could, but it's the principle of the matter.
What principle is that? I like a fucked up dog. Is that the principle?
The principle is stay out of the fucking cabinets, asshole.
Yeah, but since you know that the asshole is not going to stay out of the cabinets, then what principle are you, in fact,
Upholding.
emphasizing here? Yes.
That he should stay out of them.
And so because he doesn't ever...
We're both being stubborn.
Yes, I see. With the end result that he wins every time.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah,
it kind
look,
of seems
I don't
like
know.
you're getting the raw end of the deal here
Yeah, it could be.
in this exchange.
Yeah, I didn't lay out the most important part of my personal news though.
Yes.
Besides the fact that my dog's getting loaded every time I leave the house,
Yeah.
and that is that the sound system that I bought for the living room
Yes.
came at the cost of Murphy's massage chair, which I guarantee you I will never hear the end of.
Oh.
Yep, that sounds
So-
about right. You done fucked up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I may or may. The point is, check in next week. I might come home with a massage chair.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's all it is
Yeah.
just a little more credit. No big deal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's another $20 a month.
Big deal. And who doesn't need a massage chair?
Well, I didn't think I needed one. That's why we didn't come home with it.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
did think I needed a Bose sound system, so here we are.
Yeah, here we are. We're stuck. Well, it makes sense because, for example, the reason I don't have a 70-inch TV in my living room is I don't know.
I have told you and told you that the weekend before the Super Bowl, when they're on the cheapest sale of the year, you can get one. However, I did hear this week that they're about to come out with some like 8K instead of 4K. And
Ye-
so why would you buy a 4K now when you can wait till March and get something twice as good?
Because
twice
How
the
many
cost.
K? How much K do you need?
Well,
Okay.
after 4, it'll go to 8. After 8, it'll go to 16.
right.
After 16, it'll go to 32.
Yeah, but the problem is that there really isn't enough 4K content right now.
Yeah, I don't even. It's like when HD first came out or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it took years to catch up. It'll take years for a 4K to catch. I mean, look, I'm only going to be satisfied with a 4K TV for 3 to 4 years. You know this. And at which point, 8K will be probably as marginally inexpensive as 4K is now. So you can rest assured that this won't be my last TV.
Which is why there's no point in getting one at all. We have one that works perfectly fine. We have two that work perfectly fine.
Yeah, they're
That was
old.
almost my whole thing with the sound system. And then the guy demoed them to me,
Yeah,
and I walked out with
Never
them.
let them demo.
and they were
I know.
a significant improvement over what you've got now. Am I right?
Yeah. Right now I have just the TV sound.
So the point is this: technology is always improving. You got to stay up with the times, and if you don't, what are
No,
you?
you don't.
You know,
You
you're a
don't.
Luddite.
You don't have to.
So does anybody else have any personal news?
Oh yeah, sure. Nick has plenty.
And go.
Crickets. Yeah. No, I don't know. No, been reading that book a little
Yep.
bit.
Yeah.
Squiddy in the Ninth.
Yeah, still haven't
Squid,
finished it, huh?
squid,
No, I
squid,
haven't been reading it as much as I should, but
squid.
oh, those are dope.
What are
Johnny
they?
sent Murph a pair of sandals that are like turf sandals.
Oh, I like.
They're
turf
in this
sandals.
war. So Johnny is Murphy's nephew.
Yes.
And they're in this war right now where they're gifting each other random ass shit.
Yes.
Like last week we bought Johnny a traffic cone.
Yeah.
So Johnny's retaliating and bought Murphy some AstroTurf sandals.
Oh, I like
AstroTurf on the
Yeah,
inside.
they look pretty cool.
But how do they feel?
She says they actually feel pretty nice.
Well, then this is a war I'd like to be part of.
Yeah,
Where
well,
you're getting each other things. I mean, I could use both a traffic cone and AstroTurf sandals personally.
I want to see these sandals. Can somebody hold them up?
hey Murphy,
Yeah,
come
apparently
hold them
we're
up
going
to the camera.
me see one of those sandals.
We're going to see the sandals. I mean,
See one of
you,
those
the listener, will
chocolates.
not see the sandals.
Yeah, but fuck you. If you're not part of the pod, too bad.
And that's your attitude really about everything. It's about your attitude about 4K TV. It's your attitude about the...
Are you
Neighbor
looking?
sending me a text.
Are you looking?
Those look really super comfy.
Yeah.
They feel
Yeah,
comfy.
but
They don't look
not
comfy.
wanting
They
to
look
work on
fucking
those.
weird.
No.
Yeah, they look atrocious.
Right. So basically, what these are is black standard flip-flops, the interior of which is coated with
You
AstroTurf.
should go buy a
That's what it is.
postcard and mail it to him.
All right. So they're talking amongst themselves. Obviously.
All right.
Anyway, nice sandals, nice AstroTurf sandals. That's good personal news. I will tell you, we had a bit of drama this morning.
Ooh.
Yeah, my neighbor done fucked up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we had some guests over yesterday evening. In fact, people the Lindigs and some other folks. Anyway, suppose I shouldn't mention their name on the pod.
Right. Some random people
Right.
that we may or may
Some
not know came over.
Schmin Schmigs is their name.
The Schmigs and the Schmolls came over.
But also one of our neighbors also had a larger party with multiple vehicles at their house.
Anyway, here's the point. Our driveway was full. There wasn't really a place to park, so Brad parks where he normally parks, which is kind of on this long driveway that leads into other driveways on the left side of our home. And then this morning, we get a text from the person at the end of the street who's 100 yards away from where this vehicle is parked, by the way, that says, hey, what did it say?
Well, first of all, mind you, I've never given this person my cell phone number, so I don't even know how they got my cell phone number.
They
And
hacked
then
into
this-
the mainframe.
Yeah, they did.
exactly. Yeah, and this driveway is a long joint driveway, which they're at the end of it, and it says, "Hi, Elsie. This is your neighbor Sarah. Just wanted to ask if you could tell your son not to park in our driveway? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Actually belongs to us, the Wendlands, and the Bakers, and I wasn't sure if he was aware of that. Thank you so much.
Oh, it
Exclamation,
belongs
exclamation,
to them,
exclamation.
huh?
I really appreciate it. Exclamation, exclamation, smiley face.
And then, Elsie answered, okay. And then there was a thanks. I moved the truck. End of feud. But is it the end or is it just
No.
See, what she
No.
doesn't realize is I'm pretty clued into the fact that there are multiple long joint driveways in this neighborhood, and we're all part of what we call a homeowners association that pays for the long driveways. So I'm going to wait until I can have all the written documentation about how it's not their driveway. And next time she wants to bug me about it, I'm going to just provide it to her.
Snap!
Probably in a ribbon bow situation on her porch. Yes?
Yeah, I know what driveway you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know that little strip there. Why couldn't they just drive around the car?
Well, and Brad does always park half on the lawn, half on the driveway. I mean, he doesn't. That's not his number one go-to spot. But when there's nowhere else to park, where is he supposed to go?
Here's the point, though. The point is this. The point is, it's on, man.
Yeah,
Neighbor
you've
feud,
been
it's
slighted.
Well, it's just we have quite a few neighbors on that strip that are very just. I'm gonna try to be nice about this, but I'm really a fucking cunt. So.
Whoa,
Nice.
whoa.
No, that was good.
I'm just saying.
Well,
Let the hate flow through you.
I know that we, list this podcast as both explicit and, NC-17. But, the C word's a little extreme.
Really.
I don't think
I've
so.
heard much worse.
I don't think so at all.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think you're completely justified in your use.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Very good. Well, the point is these neighbors have all lived here since the place was built 15 years ago, so they feel like they kind of own the development.
Uh-huh.
But the answer is no, dog.
They
And
feel
they're
like
the
they kind of
stay-at-home
own the
moms
development.
Yeah, and they're the stay-at-home moms that don't have anything to do but like look out the window and just be annoying all the time.
Twitch the curtains.
Yeah, so the point is this. The neighbor feud's on. It's on, man. It's on like Donkey Kong.
It's on. Yeah, you should shit in places around their property that leaves them confused for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, son. Just drop trowel.
Yeah, and then just wait. Just be out cutting the grass or raking the leaves, shoveling the fucking driveway, whatever season it is, every morning for them to discover it. You know what I mean?
A new pile of human excrement.
And then as they look around, like, who the fuck did? You're just there doing the yard work. Hey, neighbor, how you doing?
Yeah, it's not my human excrement, if that's what you mean. Don't have it DNA tested.
Had a great corn casserole last night. You know what I'm saying? Just go back inside.
No, we're not going to do that.
Go back inside, half-cut lawn, so they know you were just waiting there.
That's a great idea. Well, in other world news, Nick, do you have no personal news? Seems like you should.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I talked to Guy Matthew Alvin last night. Good old Uncle Guy. Did you know that he had two middle names?
No, it didn't.
Yeah, none of us did.
Yeah,
Had
throwing
no
out two
idea
middle
who the
names
fuck
and
you
no
were
last
talking
name
about.
was a little off-putting.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But that's his name, Guy Matthew Alvin. And
I feel like he just added that Alvin in
Why
for
would
no.
you not say the last name too, knowing full well that we didn't know either one of his two middle names?
Right.
Why would you not put the last name on there?
well, because how many guys do you know? I mean, it's got to be Guy.
I know a lot
I
of
don't know
guys.
any Guy. I didn't know that I knew any Guy Matthew Alvins. I know Guy Shin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Guy Matthew. Well, now you've outed him.
Jesus
Did
Christ.
we do
Fine.
shit?
You
Because I feel like
fucking
we didn't
outed
do
him,
shit.
dude.
Anyway, I talked to Uncle Guy last night. And
Okay.
You know what he had to say about
What?
you, specifically Nick Shin?
Oh God, what?
He said you should consider a career in healthcare.
In healthcare?
Yeah, he said because you're good with people. That's what he said. Have you considered that?
Does he realize that Nick being good with people is an act? That he
Yeah,
really
it is a
hates
sham, and it's in a very sarcastic way. A lot of my coworkers, like, they're laughing as I come back from my table. They're like, "Oh my God, you're so fucking sarcastic with your tables." I'm like, "I'm really not. That's just the way I talk." But also, if they say something stupid, I can't help it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's just a thought. That's Guy's input.
Well, like, what do you? Yeah. That's a nice thought.
He's saying
But I'm kind of squeamish when it comes to other people's bodies and fluids and.
You could do
Yeah,
something in
we love it.
administration.
So riddle me this, Peter Nicholas Shin.
Yes.
Are there any Simons in your family at all? Is there like a middle name Simon thrown? Because you got a Theodore now and an Alvin. You really need a Simon.
Yeah. No Simons in the mix.
Jesus.
No, she's talking. The kids are looking at you dumbfounded because they
No,
don't.
I know that they're the fucking chipmunks, dude.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought that was too old school for either of you.
Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Yeah.
They had a research.
They did a remake.
2000s.
Yeah.
So who's too old now?
Me.
With
Yeah.
My Name is Earl in it. And I understand that it did not do well. Because how the
No.
fuck could it do well?
Right. It ruined his career, basically.
Yeah, why would you ever do that? I guess
Because he's an
money,
idiot.
but,
I don't know. I don't know why you would. So we did see Star Wars finally.
Me too.
Yay!
Yeah.
I
And
did too.
So we've all seen Star Wars. So here's a spoiler, warning.
We
We're
can
gonna
talk about the
spoil
spoilers
this
because no one listens, so it's all good.
Right. All three listeners, turn off your ears now.
Yeah.
all of our listeners have already seen it anyway.
And if you're listening right now, Sarah, fuck you.
Whoa.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Whoa.
Okay.
Sarah Shin?
No, not Sarah Shin, of course. Sarah the neighbor. Hi,
Oh.
it's Sarah, your neighbor. Sorry, Sarah.
Wow. You're going to really regret this when this thing blows up.
No, I'm not.
Bitter table for one.
What?
That's assuming I care. Anyway, yes. So we saw the movie. It's great. We like it.
You like it, huh?
You didn't like it, eh?
I mean, it was all right. Yeah, it was fine.
It was a Star Wars movie.
They did
Yeah,
what
there's
they
like
had
so
to
many
do.
things that did not need to happen and that didn't make sense, but I was like, whatever, dude.
Well, that's
Ooh,
okay.
are
So
you
that's the
talking
thing,
about-
right?
Hmm?
I was just gonna say that's the thing is that the Star Wars universe, cool as shit. Okay, characters in theory, like solid, but in the movies, Shit just happens to him for no fucking reason. There's no character development. Like, things just happen, and then they're resolved and everything's convenient. Like, it's just... That's why the books and all that are better.
Yeah, I was going to say the worst thing about the Star Wars franchise is the movies, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow, some haters. So, explain all this hatred and vitriol coming from you.
Okay, like, let's start from the very end and just ruin it, at the beginning.
Yeah.
So when Kylo Ren, the now redeemed quote unquote, first off, he could never be redeemed. The dude was essentially a school shooter with no justification for his actions whatsoever.
So
Killed his
Anakin.
dad for no reason.
Anakin killed all of the younglings.
Yeah, but Anakin stuck to his fucking guns for at least 3 decades. He killed all the younglings.
Yeah, but then
Jedi.
His fucking
make it
progeny
better.
came out, and he was, it's all better because I'm a good dad now.
Well, but that was like, okay, I thought I didn't have a son. Oh, turns out I didn't kill my wife. She died from fucking childbirth. There's something, and like you got a scheme on the Emperor. That's how the Sith work, is that to overthrow your master, you have to kill him in like some kind of betrayal. That's the way it always goes. So that's to be expected that went down, even if he failed in the end, because Palpatine still lived.
Somehow.
Somehow was a little bit tarnished though.
Fancy.
Yeah, like his fingers were bony and shit. Like he's a little bit tarnished. He was blind. He was all hooked up to a machine, and I guess he was fucking like 30 years ago or however many years ago
When he was in the Senate.
Yeah, no,
he's
that
a
doesn't make sense.
grandfather to Ray, so that would make it more like 50, 60 years ago.
I guess, yeah. I mean, if they were 30 or 40, but like the whole thing, like, so Palpatine, the fucking Emperor, the Galactic Emperor, is not going to have a child and then just let that child. If your goal from the beginning was to possess someone so that you could continue your life and your evil Sith experiments, why would you not just possess the fucking child that you somehow made? Surely through nefarious, methods, but whatever. Made the child, and then what? You just let it get away, and then find somebody, and then have a child, and then like you hire people to go hunt this fucking rogue child of yours, and then you gotta find the fucking grandchild however many decades later. Like, it's all so convoluted. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you just take over the first child's body?
Yeah, because
and when did you have that child?
Well, maybe the first child didn't have the kind of midichlorian count that he needed.
How could you? It wouldn't be about the fucking first child having the midichlorian count if you're just going to take them over. You know what I mean? If the Force Ghost of Palpatine is going to possess the body, then I would think it stands to reason it doesn't matter what your midichlorian count is at all.
Well, let's stipulate the fact that Palpatine coming back at all is stupid. Let's just stipulate that. And stipulate, too, how do you create the world's greatest, largest, badassest fleet on a planet where there is nothing?
Yeah.
And then you've got, presumably, this badass fleet is staffed, well enough to get off the planet. I mean, there's all these thousands of people looking at Palpatine. I couldn't help thinking, where's your food coming from? They can't even find this planet. Nothing grows here. How are you guys eating?
The Force sustains them.
I don't. I mean,
did you explore the whole planet?
I'm not a Star Wars agricultural expert, but I didn't see any attention being paid to agriculture in this film.
Well, if you were in the Sahara, you wouldn't necessarily think that Egypt is an oasis, would you? No. And that's just 2 countries next to each other. We're talking about a whole fucking planet, okay?
I don't know, dog.
I don't know about that either, dog. Yeah, so all of a sudden you can just, on a planet, like who is staffing these ships? How did you make those ships? Did you have just some kind of entire planet? Like, I assume a fleet that big would necessitate an entire factory planet, which that did not appear to be.
No.
And they all had planet-destroying weapons on them. Like, that would be like, the resources, I assume, like, even the Galactic Empire in its prime could only make 1 Death Star at a time. You know what I mean? Took a while to construct,
Yeah, and every one of these ships has a Star Killer gun on it. Yeah, I mean, that whole thing.
The logistics of it was just
30 years ago, we didn't have, computers on our desktop that did what the computers in our hands do now. So let's just say that with the passage of time, technology and things change and improve. What?
Well, but there would have to be a plateau. After you get to a certain point of advanced technology,
You
it
don't
wouldn't
know
just.
that. We haven't.
Well,
hit
and
the
here's
plateau yet.
here's the thing though, is that still doesn't where's the factory on Exegol that could just churn out these star killers?
That's what. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a barren fucking
Just
planet.
because they didn't, it's a whole planet. You saw 1 square mile of it, and you're going to go ahead and say that you know what's on the planet.
It did also show like how much of a bitch it was to get to. Like you had to. It was like fucking the Isle of Tortuga. You couldn't get there unless you already know where it was. Okay, so assuming that this fucking planet was. I don't know, miles away, a lush garden with all kind of minerals and ores and native populations to enslave to make this massive fleet of starships. How the fuck would nobody know where it is then? You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. I mean that whole thing was.
How does nobody know where the Jedi planet is?
People do know where the Jedi planet is. That's just that information. Well, also space is like no one could have you have to have the coordinates, you know what I mean? And space. You can't just like look around and like find your way there.
Yeah, so you're saying that can happen for one, but not the other.
No, we're saying
no. I'm saying people know where the Jedi planet is, and it depends on what era we're talking about.
Nobody did.
Yeah, that's
Coruscant.
Why that part was stupid. We can't find
No,
the Jedi planet.
Yavin.
It's only been out there for
Yavin 4.
What's that?
Wasn't it Yavin where
Coruscant was where the Jedi Temple was?
No, we're talking about where Luke was.
Yeah, the fact that Luke's planet was hard to find is also ridiculous. But there are a lot of planets out there, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
yeah, that was another thing, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so check it out. So the fucking he force ghosts himself at the end of the whatever movie.
Yeah.
The last one.
Yeah.
And he dies from the effort. Right?
Exactly.
Which, if you were going to die, you should have just showed up either way. Don't know why you had to force ghost yourself. Oh, wait, because he had no way. He was marooned on that fucking planet. Except that he wasn't marooned on that planet because he had his fucking X-Wing there the whole time as his Force Ghost showed to fucking Rey.
Yeah.
And he also had fucking Leia's lightsaber there. So
why was the light... Here's the biggest thing that bugged me. Why the fuck were there 2 blue lightsabers at the end when...
Yeah, dude. Leia's lightsaber should
was
have been green, so Rey could have had the master. Only masters get the fucking green lightsaber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She should have had the green lightsaber. Ben had the blue lightsaber.
Yeah.
And how did it turn from green to blue? I don't get it.
Well, they use different crystals. There's a crystal that when you build your lightsaber, you use the fucking.
So
crystal.
she just swapped out the crystal in Leia's saber.
Like in the flashback, it was green and blue, and then in this one, they were both blue.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And I thought kyber crystals were hard to come by.
Kyber crystals are the Sith crystals. Those are the ones that make the red ones.
I thought the crystals were
all kyber crystals.
Yeah, they're all kyber crystals.
Okay, well.
Yeah, they like torture the kyber, and that's what makes them red or something.
It's just the part of the force they're using. So, interesting thing Brad clued me into at the end when she has a lightsaber that's yellow. It's because only Sentinels have the yellow lightsabers, and Sentinels are force protectors, so they're kind of like chaotic neutral. They aren't necessarily good or bad. They just care about protecting the force and the use of the force and protecting people that can't use the force from having the force used against them. So that's kind of the significance of Rey burying the other 2 lightsabers and then having the yellow one at the end.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of sounds like a gray Jedi, you know?
I sense a sequel.
The dark and light side of the Force.
Right.
Although, if you think about it, that's kind of what the Jedi do. You know what I mean? They just protect people.
Yeah, supposedly.
Whatever. This is...
Anyway, the bottom line is that there was a lot of Star Wars-y stuff in it. You know what I told everybody that I saw after I saw it? I said, if you like Star Wars, you probably liked it. If you didn't like Star Wars, it was the stupidest movie on Earth. So... Yeah.
And also, Leia, the general of the Resistance, has been like begging everybody to come help, and nobody will do it. But then Lando Calrissian, geriatric Lando Calrissian, and Wookiee leave in the Millennium Falcon for 15 minutes, and then the entire galaxy shows up all at the same time on a forgotten fucking planet, however many light years away. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that is odd. Well, it took them a while to get their shit together. They had to get their shit in a knapsack.
I don't know. Any leader in power long enough, you start to be like, yeah, okay, I'm sick of your shit. And you get jaded kind of over time. You've been getting your asses whooped for, a decade or more now. So when somebody else who used to be strong and a leader who's also been like jaded and over it, suddenly is like, hey guys, you know what? It's real. You might be more energized. You might be more likely to be like, oh, okay. It's not just, crazy town saying her stupid thing over and over. Just like we all kind of get that way with our own politicians.
I guess, but it's still the same thing. Like, she's like, hey, come help us fight these people over here on this fucking. I mean, what Lando asked them to do was even more outlandish. Like, this was within their own known system. You know what I mean?
He's cool.
Yeah, no, but that's why his name is Lando. It's actually short for outlandish.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the thing that Elsie hated more. She just bitched loudly during the movie. So, they find this dark sword that's got the location of Excellent.
Oh yeah, like One-Eyed Willie's fucking treasure thing that they did there.
Yeah. My thing was, if C-3PO understood it, and if C-3PO is a machine, and you're flying a machine, fucking hook C-3PO up to the machine. He doesn't have to tell you shit. He can still navigate you there.
Yeah. Also, dude, how fucked is C-3PO? Like, you just look at him and you're like, this is not at all how the droids would be made. This is how some dude in the fucking 70s thought fucking robots would look in the future. He's just got a square fucking mouth, his arms all stuck like this still. I'm like, dude,
Anakin made him when he was like 8 years old, dude.
But he made him after there's like more droids like that. He's not the only one of his kind.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's a whole criticism of the genre rather than that specific film.
Yeah.
But my point is that when you take a look at this final movie, lots of action, lots of great special effects, kind of a questionable storyline, and in my opinion anyway. And I agree with the critics who say that there wasn't much in the way of character development. It was just boom, boom, set piece, and Rey predictably wins.
Yeah. Although I did like Kylo Ren killing everybody.
There was good character development of her and Kylo into Ben.
I hated Kylo Ren, dude. Hate that.
Although I think the concept of a Force dyad, cool as shit.
Yeah, the execution.
Yeah, and it was cool. Yeah, it was cool how they would talk to each other and then pull things off each other because they were connected. You know what I mean? When they're fighting and she was in his quarters and he was in the fucking market and she hit the fucking basket of spices that were in the market and it spilled in his quarters.
Yeah.
He took the break. That shit was cool. That was nice.
Force dyad.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
That's what I mean by lore. There's some cool fucking lore and shit that.
Well, yeah, but that's all not the movies. That's all the good stuff that is not in the movies. And Kylo Ren was just I'm like, dude, nothing you did made sense to me. You know what I mean? Okay, I get running away at first when you thought Luke was going to kill you. But all right, you just went full-fledged balls deep into the dark side and started fucking killing just innocent people and then your own dad for no reason. You're just kind of a school shooter type motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
mean?
He
was just a mediocre white dude.
Well, but he had the potential. I mean, he was fucking Darth Vader's grandson. He had the potential and control over the Force to be the next scion of the Jedi. But instead, you just took the very first opportunity to turn evil because you're just a fuckboy. I don't know. I just didn't like it.
When you are unexpectedly almost assassinated by your uncle, you don't think that's going to be traumatic as a kid?
Really? I think it would be traumatic. But so what? You're just going to... I don't know. I would run away for a little, move 100 yards away and just think about it. Talk once, ever.
Sure, but I know grown-ass people in my own life who still aren't over their childhood trauma. I will say here's the number one problem with Star Wars. The number one problem with Star Wars, it's so beloved by so many, and there's so much fan fiction, and there's so much lore, and there's so many extra side stories that literally everybody has their own vision of what the perfect story is, and there's never going to be a movie that makes everybody happy.
Well, perhaps not.
I beg to differ.
But
okay, write it then.
Well, I didn't say I could make it. I'm just saying, there's the comic. There's so many books and so many comics that are separate. Just make a movie out of one of those. They were so fucking good. You could make a franchise out of one of those. That's kind of what they're doing with the Mandalorian.
Well, that's what they're going to do next. But they wanted to just wrap up the Skywalker saga.
Which was just a shit show.
Yeah, mission accomplished. The truth of the matter is that I saw the first one in 1977 when I was 10 years old, and it blew my ever-loving little mind. And
same.
and so no film will ever really measure up to that. When I saw The Empire Strikes Back, the second movie, which everyone now says is the best out of the original trilogy, the best Star Wars movie, I fucking hated it. All of my heroes lost. You know what I mean? I did not like that movie. I don't care if, Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's dad. I didn't like that. Darth Vader's an asshole. Luke Skywalker's the hero. I didn't want the asshole to be the hero's father. So, I mean, to be honest with you, Star Wars, the original, man, that was a film that could never be duplicated. It was so good, it spawned, 10, 11, 12 other pieces of trash.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just going to say there's a lot of hate, and I'm just going to say to everybody associated with making this happen, I thought it was great, and thank you. And I liked the homage at the end, showing the Ewoks, and that made me happy. Lando Calrissian flying the Millennium Falcon in the final battle was awesome. Having the other random dude that nobody knows who the fuck he is from the original series in the last fight as well was awesome. And everybody who's upset can just go suck it. Nothing personal.
Okay.
I'm not upset, but it was just a bad movie on its face, period.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about a bad movie. Like I said, there was cool parts of it. I think you summed it up right, Dad. Like, if you like Star Wars movies, I don't know. Like, it was cool, but like if you just think too much about it, then it starts to get stupid. But it was cool looking. There's a lot of lightsaber battles, which I'm all about. And I liked all the Force stuff, It didn't really it kind of made sense, but like the Rey, when she went and got the thing and there was the evil version of her and she had the double lightsabers.
Yeah,
that was cool. That. I wish they would have dragged that out a little bit more, but
agreed.
Like had like a more of a fight, but that was cool.
Maybe showed her in a swimsuit. I don't know.
Yeah, just spitballing here.
I mean, these are just ideas. I mean, creative ideas.
We're just blue sky in this thing.
Creative.
And, felt right at the time.
Anyway, so we're gonna give Sarah Shin the final word on this.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, it was a Star Wars movie.
Give it a C.
Yeah, agreed.
C plus.
C plus. Yeah,
all right,
I think
C
that's
plus
fair.
fine.
Yep. Right.
I did love the little traumatized robot. No, thank you.
Oh yeah, he was cute.
My favorite part of the movie is when Palpatine shot the lightning out and they're hitting all the fucking ships, and the dude's like, "R2, we lost power," and R2's just in the back, electrified. So helpful. Yeah, I think R2 knows that he lost power.
Yeah. Or this is the one that the internet loves. The line that the internet loves is Poe Dameron saying, "Somehow Palpatine came back." Yeah, and that's the whole explanation that you get for Palpatine coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so anyway, point is, very, very well done film in terms of visuals and action, but don't think about it too fucking hard.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that concludes our discussion of Star Wars. Now on to real quick the NFL playoffs, which happened this weekend. 4 great games, actually 3 great games. And the fourth one going on as we speak. I have no idea what the score is at this point, but the Eagles seem to have it in hand.
No, they don't.
They did. It was like they had an 11-point lead when I came down here.
You mean the Seahawks?
Oh, whatever. Yeah, the Seahawks. Yeah, Seahawks, Eagles. I mean,
I'm saying the wrong team, but I mean, the Seahawks won 17-9,
which is the original score by which they won the last time they met. Interestingly enough. So here's how the games turned out. The Buffalo Bills played the Houston Texans. They went up 16-0. But the game ended in a 19-19 tie, Houston coming all the way back and then winning in overtime. So the Texans move on. Then the next game, the New England Patriots, who were for the first time playing in a wild card round in 10 years, the Titans came into Foxborough and beat the Titans 14-13 in a second half that scored not a single point scored, a defensive struggle, but one that was really for the ages in terms of shutting down the New England offense. And so New England is out of the playoffs. Who knows what the future is for Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and that going on in New England. And then today, the Minnesota Vikings, who were at least 8-point underdogs going into New Orleans, came out and beat the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans in overtime by a score of 26-20 on a last-second touchdown, third down touchdown to Kyle Rudolph from Kirk Cousins, who after the game said, "You like that," which he's known for saying. Anyway, so
Fuck
the
that.
Vikings move on. They're going to play San Francisco, and will undoubtedly get their asses kicked there. But in any event, and now the Seahawks move on to Green Bay next week, where it's anybody's game. The Texans go on to play the Chiefs, I believe, and then the Titans will go and play the Ravens. So that's what's shaping up next week in the divisional round. Did either of you watch any of those games?
No.
Okay.
Our Mac also says no.
So I went through that recap for nothing, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was a good slate of NFL action, with the exception of the last game, which was kind of a bore. So there. You watch any UFC this weekend?
Nah, there wasn't anything this weekend.
Okay. But coming up, the notorious Conor McGregor taking on Cowboy Cerrone. I'm sure you all are excited about that.
Hell yeah.
Okay. And does anybody believe that Cowboy Cerrone stands a chance against Conor McGregor?
Of course he does. Are you fucking shitting me? He's not just. This isn't just a tune-up match for Conor McGregor, like a lot of people are saying.
Yeah,
Like,
that's how it's being pitched. A tune-up for Conor McGregor. I've seen that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like Cowboy McGregor, Jesus Christ.
I think he should change his name.
Cowboy McGregor. Well, that is the name of the event, Cowboy McGregor.
Yes.
But anyway, Cowboy's not a tune-up fight for anyone. You know what I mean? He's not, like, he would never, some people are just beyond reproach as far as, you know, whether or not they're going to be an easy fight. I don't think Cowboy is an easy fight for anyone, especially not McGregor. You know what I mean? He knows, they both know each other's strengths and weaknesses. But either way, Cowboy has had, I don't know, maybe, I don't know about double, but he's had a significantly more fights in the UFC than Conor McGregor has, and he's been a lot more active lately. That isn't to say I'm not worried about him, though. I am kind of worried about Cowboy, and I would not be surprised if he lost, but I don't think he will.
Okay. And as you say, it's not a tune-up fight for anyone.
Definitely not. He's not. Any win over Cowboy is like, you got to work for that. You're gonna, it's not gonna be easy.
Fair enough. Sarah, your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah, I mean, Conor McGregor's looking cut as fuck, dude. Like, and he's had more time to recover and train than McGregor or than Cowboy, but who knows if he actually has been training. Like, he's kind of a fucking playboy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how serious he's been in his 3 years off. But I feel like McGregor's going to be fresher, but I feel like Cowboy's going to put up a good fight, man. They both have really high fight IQ, and I think it's going to be a really good fight.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I will undoubtedly, not pay for the pay-per-view. You won't either, but somehow you'll still see it.
Yeah, because I'm going to it.
Oh, you are? You're going to that fight?
Hell yeah.
Oh, my
God. We're going to be at that fight. And by we, I mean me and Murphy.
Now, where's the fight at? Vegas?
Yeah.
And you've got tickets already?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. You had to get tickets like 5 minutes after they came out.
Impressive. Well, that'll be fun to hear about your experience at Cowboy McGregor.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. All right. Very exciting. All right. So it's finally the last portion of the program. What were your New Year's resolutions this year?
Nah, dude, let's not do that. That's whack.
God damn it.
That's so whack. Hey, also, speaking of whack, those newsletters that you send out, do you send those out to anyone besides the family?
Few people. Why?
Yeah, could you leave me out of those, please? Leave me out.
I have to consult with Elsie on that. She's an awesome.
Fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Really?
Not a fan of my
Hey,
personal
I tell you
business.
what I am a fan of, though.
What's that?
Was that alpaca stuff you guys sent back from Ecuador.
Oh, did you already get that?
We did.
Okay, good.
What alpaca stuff?
Well, remember how you were upstairs and I said, hey, I have something for you, and you didn't respond because you didn't hear me?
No and yes.
Do you remember when you didn't listen to me or hear me?
Yeah, I don't remember that, but I am sure that it happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you after the pod.
Okay, well then I enjoyed that too.
Okay, great. Well, you're gonna enjoy it.
The sweater that you got Taylor, super cute. The blankie that you got us.
Oh, you got
looks
Taylor
nicely.
something? Oh,
Well, yeah.
thank you on her behalf.
I mean, it's not just
It's super
including her in the newsletter that you despise.
Yeah. Which, seriously, ixnay on my being in that A. Nick continues to have employment. Oh, God. Yeah, let's just leave it out altogether, please. Thank you.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we could have. You're right. We should have lied. Nick
Nick is a successful brain surgeon and has invented 4
Actually,
new techniques.
I think we should have said had some legal troubles this year.
No, not at all.
Or alternatively, absolutely nothing at all.
No, I like invented new techniques in microsurgery.
Yeah, look, either don't put it in at all or just lie fantastically about it.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair enough. Next year, you are going to be in for some
Next year, I got accepted into Hogwarts.
You bastard!
Crushing his sister's dreams. That's a good one right there. All right, so we're skipping the resolutions. Got it. Okay, no resolutions. And then I forget now. What else is there to talk about? There was something else I wanted.
Would you like to talk about your resolutions?
No.
Yeah, I feel like that's the whole reason you even brought it up. But let's hear your resolutions, Dad.
I don't have any. I have none. Believe it or not, I don't have any resolutions. Not one. How about that? I mean, I'd like to not get fired, but that's really more of a hope than it is a resolution. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you say that kind of like it's imminent.
One never knows. It's day to day, every day in my job. You just never know.
Okay.
Yeah. Could be tomorrow. Could be never. So there's that. So Nick, just real quickly, do you have a restaurant etiquette with Nick Shin update?
Oh, no, not. But I'll tell you what, I may have already said this, but one time, a couple days ago, actually, this has been many times, but a couple of days ago, I got a guy who wanted half Pepsi and half Diet Pepsi.
Oh, the classic Jack Black move.
Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, that is the Jack Black move. Half Coke, half Diet Coke.
Because I'm trying to cut the weight.
Yeah, hey, Piggy, just get the fucking Pepsi. You know what I mean? Come on. Almost as bad as getting a fucking Pepsi in a water. Almost.
But not quite. You were okay with it. You were okay with the half Pepsi, half Diet Pepsi.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Like, it's hilarious to me. I really want to just be like, so why did you order this? Like, why wouldn't you just get one or the other? Like,
but because you're so wise in the ways of science.
Yes.
You did not.
No, I didn't. I said, here you go, sir. Enjoy.
Not sarcastically at all.
Enjoy that for me, will you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody accused me of being. I get a lot. I get accused of being sarcastic when I'm just saying things.
Yeah, me too. People are like, why are you saying it like that?
Because you're both so sarcastic, you forgot that you're sarcastic because that's just who you are as people.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem right. I don't know.
That's not out of the realm of possibility.
Doesn't track with me.
I don't like the cut of that explanation's jib.
Nor do I. Well, here's another thing that Elsie did. Elsie did a thing. So she got all of our Ecuador pictures kind of squared away. She pulled a bunch of screenshots out of the video that we took while we were snorkeling. So we got
nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm glad that you enjoy the llama-related or alpaca-related materials that we got. Is it llama or alpaca?
It's a mix of both. And I'm sorry that we just weren't sure what kind of sweaters you would actually wear out in public. I wasn't sure if you would actually want to sport a rainbow llama situation. I didn't know how it went with your fall girl aesthetic.
Yeah.
That's why
we'll figure it out.
Some shawls.
Yeah.
I like the blankie.
Yeah.
Everyone likes it.
And everybody likes a blankie.
Yes, I think the blanket's llama, but the shawl thing is alpaca. It's a little bit softer.
Cool.
Yeah. It's llama-paca. El llama.
Alpaca.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, speaking of llama and Lollapalooza and alpaca.
Yeah.
I have just a small bit of trivia for you that you may already know, Dad.
Which is
find it here.
as follows.
American soldiers in Pacific theater of World War II always used passwords containing the letter L due to Japanese mispronunciation. A word such as Lollapalooza would be used, and upon hearing the first two syllables come back as Rara would open fire without waiting to hear the rest.
I did not know that. Makes
And
sense, though.
Yeah, people, this guy in the top comment says, I've been told that in the European theater, U.S. troops would use passphrases such as Roy Rogers' Road a Red Road, which would reveal any Teutonic ESL types in a hurry. And the Swedes have one, which in English, that I can't, there's no fucking way I'm even going to try to say this Swedish thing, but in English, it's 7,777 C6 sailors. The Swedes can smell a non-native speaker a mile away with that one.
Yeah, well, I couldn't say that in English. So
Yeah.
I guess I'd be screwed.
That's because you're simple.
So I am. I'm a simple man.
Simple man.
Simple Pete.
Of simple, yeah. Simple Pete. Bless his heart.
Yes. Simpleton. All right. So just real quick, final thing. Sarah, gotta ask, murder update? Anything? No? Not in the last week, probably.
I think the murder update is she's ready to murder you about asking about the murder update.
Still super dead.
Okay. All right, good. Murder victim still dead. Copy. All right. And in other news, Facebook news, the 80s character that Elsie is most likely to be is someone associated with Meg Ryan.
From
What?
When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's been busy doing her Facebooks while we're on the pod.
Facebooks.
Yeah,
Getting those
really-
reps in.
She has not taken the advice to delete Facebook while you're up and hit the gym. She has not done that.
And
I did delete Facebook off my phone, and I gotta say, I don't miss it.
Oh,
I can
good
log
for you.
into it from the browser
Yeah.
if I want to,
Right?
and I don't need to.
I mean, what is Facebook? I mean, I get, that old people and people who care about other people for whatever reason say that Facebook is a way to keep in touch.
Yeah.
But aside from that, you only have Facebook just for something to fucking look at, for the memes and the articles and shit that people post. And Reddit does that for me, And I don't give a shit about keeping in touch with anyone who I'm not currently in this room with.
Good point. Other than
It's not other than family.
Yeah. Right.
Because, you're not in the room with me, Dad.
Right. Exactly.
Neither are you, Elsie, or many other people that I care about. It's really just Sarah and these dogs, and these are the ones I care least about, actually. So,
Well, so
reverse.
When you put it that way, it'd be nice if there was an application where you could just kind of connect and share pictures.
Some kind of social media network I could
and that's
use.
why I do like Facebook, because I like the memes, but I also do like to know what's going on in other people's lives. Like, I get to know what's going on with you and Taylor, because I'm friends with Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that makes him hate it 10,000
I know.
million
He's like,
times
oh,
more.
fuck, Taylor.
The
He's
seething
going to delete
hatred.
Taylor's Facebook.
Yeah.
Nah, she wouldn't do that.
Yeah. All right. So, anyway, so good to talk to you, kids. Are we missing anything? Got any big plans for next week? Any plans? We can just skip the whole, the whole.
Nah.
No plans.
My resolution and plan is to somehow not be affected by the war we might be about to have. But that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay, that's smart. And Nick, you got any big plans for next week?
Big plans. Wow. Here's the thing about big plans, is that it's something that you plan to do,
Right.
maybe a whole day long, and it's
Right.
big. It's real big, like indoor plumbing.
Right.
Indoor plumbing was big. You know what I mean? It still is to this day. That was a big plan,
Yeah.
like God's plan, kind of like a plumbing layout. You know what I mean? That being said, no, I don't have not any big plans, not even any small plans.
Yeah.
Or medium plans.
Well, I gotta kind of, gird my loins and go to work for 5 days in a row. That's gonna suck.
Please don't step
Yeah.
on loins.
With the fruit.
Griddle
of my
your
loins.
loins.
Yeah.
With a cute little waffle pattern.
Yes.
The cute searing waffle pattern.
Oh, shit.
Nice loin talk. All right.
This has
Loin
been
talk.
Loin Talk.
Damn it. That would have been the perfect name for this podcast.
Loin.
Talk.
Not too late to change it.
Oh,
Change it.
shit.
Actually, this is going to be the loin talk edition.
The
It is.
loin talk edition. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, finally, something funny after only an hour and 5 minutes.
That's what made it a very special
Something that
episode.
genuinely made anyone laugh after an hour and 5 minutes.
Oh, you got to wait for the gold. You know, you got to dig through some dirt to get to the gold, brother.
Yeah. You got to
Yeah,
sift.
that's it. All right. So, good job, kids. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
A Shin Show is a production of Shinfluence. It features the voices and opinions of the Shin family, which are entirely and exclusively their own. It's brought to you on a fake basis each week by Ziff's Fine Dining in Invercargill, New Zealand, and by the Church of Universal Energy and the Infinite Multiverse. Look for a church near you, or don't. And be sure and join us next week when we're going to hear Nick Shin say something along the lines of...
I can't wait to shoot the proverbial faces with you guys next week.
Looking forward to that then. All right. See you, kids.
Bye.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Sarah didn't say bye.
I was saying, are you waiting? Are you honestly waiting for me to say bye? Bye.
Is that so fucking hard?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I was actually waiting for love you bye, but
Aw.
Love you. Bye.
bye.
Okay.
Right.
Did you feel the love?
He'll go to great lengths to get validation.
Yeah. Great length.
Validate me. Validate me. Validate me.
That's not just the parking either.